Hello and welcome back to the live stream. Facing pitch 1, we have Werewolves of London versus NTNUI. I am Bex McLaughlin and I am here with...
I'm Sam Davis and you're not. Hello. We'll go how it goes. So we've got the Werewolves who are going to be on the right of the screen versus NTNUI. I must admit, I always hate that name because it's a bit of a mouthful. Is there a shorter name for them?
Nizu.
Nizu. Right, they shall be Nizu.
You can call them the green team. That's what refs will call them. They'll call them the green team. Green
green
versus burgundy. There you go.
Ah, that's a battle for the ages, isn't it? Right there.
The classic, El Clasico.
So we've got our lineup starting there. We've got on the Werewolves, Luke Twist starting as a chaser with Jan as a beater.
And other people, and they're off.
And various
Alex Harrison makes it to the quaffle first. He shakes off. Oh, he got beaten by Armand, but fantastic run there by Alex Harrison, number 5 of Werewolves of London. Number 34 of NTNUI passes off the ball to number 4 of NTNUI. Number 4 is Even Hirberg Hansen or Stein
Hansen. Let's go with that one. It's easier to say. I must admit, there's a lot more letters in names over here.
What do you mean? What are you talking about? Cornelis Solution?
Yeah, that's many letters.
Yeah, there's
a lot of passing around the hoops there, but Wolves have been able to take it back. It looks like there's a little bit of back contact there, but he did break off. Werewolves sauntering down the pitch here.
They'll get there when they feel like it.
Well, they need it. They've got a good bodyguard of beaters there going down with them. Looks like the beaters are now splitting to try and get a bit more control over the pitch.
Aaron Veal, number 14, Werewolves of London, one of the best keepers, I would say, in Europe. Very comfortable with his quaffle. He is passing the ball off over... He almost passed the ball to himself. He passed the ball over the hoops, and then he ran to get it. He passed the ball to himself, but it's turned over into the NTNUI's keeper. Aaron is going to play a very high point. Look at him. He's not in any rush to move back. He's going to meet him right there.
He doesn't want getting out of the keepers on that. The issue I'm finding here with the Werewolves, they're putting in a lot more effort than Nutni or NTNUI. However, they're doing a lot more sloppy passes. But as I say that...
He could have got that if he was 15 feet high. Like, be bigger.
Do
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be bigger.
I mean, he needs to drink more milk, I think.
Don't get better, just be bigger.
So that's a turnover of quaffle as it went out of bounds. Player running it in now, I believe. Is that Luke Twist?
That is Luke Twist, being followed by Niklas Muller. Niklas Muller is the head ref for this game. Now, I'm not saying Niklas Muller is a strict referee, but he did give me a yellow card as a non-playing head coach for miscalling a timeout.
So we've got a bit of beef there, have we?
Oh, there's no beef.
I'm not beef.
I'm not beef. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out.
Well, there's
if there's any kind of error
there. However, it's all in vain because the quaffle has just been regained by the green team keeper. I'm never going to get this. By the green team keeper, who's now walking down the pitch, which means that despite how wonderful those hits with those bludgers happened, it was just badly timed. It gave no benefit to anyone, really.
So what I enjoy watching about Alex Harrison, number 5, is he is relentless. He likes to really give it all for like 2-3 runs, and then we'll make a sub. He's one of the few people on this team not to have played for Team UK, but he is going to play for Team Scotland in the summer. There's one of my first fun facts.
Your first fun fact
of this match.
We have a Team Scotland sacrifice, and there's the first goal of the game there. It has been called good. It looked like there was potentially going to be some kind of foul, but the ref has decided to say, no, you guys got to suck it up. Right, so that is the first goal there to Rumpeldunk.
NTNUI Rumpeldunk. Rumpeldunk, of course, just being the Norwegian word for Quidditch.
It is, but, you know, who else calls it Rumpeldunk if not the people whose language that is? Right,
Sam Davies calling it like it is.
So on screen, you'll see that it says 10-0 in favour of the Werewolves. That is incorrect. It is 10 for Rumpeldunk, who are in green. Rumpeldunk making a breakaway now. Oh, and back contact pulled down. The ref doesn't seem to want to call it, though.
Which is confusing because it looked like contact to the neck from behind with the shirt pull. But apart from all of that, it was fine.
Bar those 3 reasons to call it a card, it did look entirely fine, I suppose. Quaffle possession is now with the Wolves keeper in the keeper zone. currently marching with the ref there. As earlier we said on the stream, the rule about slow bowling, if the ref beats you to the halfway line at a walk, it is a turnover for slow bowling. That's why the ref is looming around the players when they walk from their keeper zone. Some beautiful interception work there. There does seem to be a lot of back contact from the Wolves today.
Aggressive hugging.
It is. Beautiful pirouette, though. Absolutely
Amazing,
beautiful.
amazing takedown by Oliver Craig there, but...
I'm waiting for a good pas de bourrée. And a shot, and just...
blocks that shot. Oh! All you know is bad, and all the commentators can say is, oh!
That was...
I don't think that was illegal. I think that was just unfortunate.
A bit of a trip. He's come off. He does look all right. He is walking, so don't start mourning yet.
I think Werewolves of London do have a tendency to get a little bit, can get tilted, is the English word. I don't think they're tilted yet, but there are some big personalities on this team.
And Jet there really wrecking the beta game until being beaten out himself. And that's a goal there, bringing the score to 10-all.
And a lot of couples as well, which sometimes increases the tension on a team. You know,
a lot of red-blooded couples.
It's one thing when your teammate gets hurt. It's one thing when like your fiance. Oh, yeah.
I always remember on Manchester about a year ago or so, big player, a guy called Timor. It was his first game, and he was playing with his girlfriend, and she was taken down by Ollie Barker from Chester, and Timor got so worked up about it, I had to put myself in between him and Ollie. Now, of course, if he went for it, there was nothing I could do about it. I was hoping that he liked me more than he hated Ollie in that moment. So, Luke Twist making a pass off there to number 14, who is Aaron Veal. Dodging that tackle there and making a good pass off.
That was also a lovely bit of dancing by Jürgen Stenlock, number 42 there. Now, interestingly, we're talking beef.
We're talking beef.
My another fun fact for you.
All right.
NTNUI played Werewolves of London last time we were in Belgium for the EQC 2017, in the 3rd/4th playoff. That time the Werewolves came up on top under apparently some dubious ref calls.
Ooh.
Just saying, a wee bit dubious there. Spicy.
A little bit of spicy.
A little bit
spicy salt. We'll get some peri-peri salt on it and it'll be fine. There's a big beat there by Anjet, but it does mean that he's got to run off the pitch to collect his bludger. Pass back to Luke Twist. He's doing a bit of dribbling there, like his basketball days.
Bit of side to side, bit of side step. The very popular move.
It's very good for your thighs. Oh, and there was a bit of beta
contact. Bit of a turnover.
There.
Jürgen's got to get this in.
Anjet fighting the bludgers there. He is winning the beta battle, but there's no reason for it.
There are no bludgers. Luke's just got to get the ball.
Beautiful catch and pass there, leading into a goal
again. Werewolves chanting there for you.
I just thought you might have gone mad.
Can I count that as a fun fact? No, not
well,
quite
it was
fun
a
enough.
fact. I don't know if it was fun.
I'll put it in my painful fact pile.
So we've currently got a brooms down. It looks like there is a little bit of an injury for one of the Rumpeldunkians. They're walking off, so it's all right. I think it might have been some form of head contact. They're taking the moment to have a nice bit of a drink. So, big fun?
Yeah, the injury was with Lisa Tietze, also of Team Germany in the past, Team Norway. Very, very experienced player. Oh, I really hope she's okay.
She looks like she'll be all right in a few moments, just getting past it. So, in terms of this...
Our different levels of sentimentality. And, I hope my friend is okay. And you're like, she'll be all right. Slap a plaster on it. She'll be fine.
We've got... There's some ice cream that we can get, and it'll be fine. In terms of this, the game does seem to be going quite slow on the scoring front. So it's 20-20 at the moment. So only 4 goals have been scored in the 7 minutes that we've been.
I think it's just because both teams are so good. It's one of those like, hey, my offense is really good, your offense is really good, but hey, so is my defense, and then.
Is there anything you see that you think they need to change to be able to get back into the game?
Well, Sam, they need to get the ball through the hoop.
I must admit, that is some glorious insight there. I would never have...
I know, right? I'm just... Another fun fact. You get more points if you put the ball through the hoop.
I must admit, on the last game that I was commentating on, Kai actually scored an own... actually, I think it was Kai, scored an own goal very tactically to get his seeker back on pitch, leading to them actually winning the game. But watching an old player do that, it always has that little bit of a sting to it, I always find, when you're pulling the ball through your own hoop.
But at least you've done it intentionally.
It was.
They're having a very long referee chat. The live stream at this moment in time, bit dull, not gonna lie.
Bit dull.
You can listen to us chatting and watching 5 people dressed as zebras having a discussion about it.
We can try and spice this up. If I can yell at Ben Honey, he will dance for us.
It's okay. Don't yell at Ben Honey to dance for us. We can talk about Trevor. Werewolf Seeker, dressed in a blanket in the subs box.
That's not a blanket. That's a cape. We have a cape.
An actual cape from the Werewolves.
Good Lord.
What my favourite fact is about Trevor, and I'll tell you now.
Your favourite fact about Trevor?
He played at Southern Regionals in the UK for Werewolves of London, an entirety of 3 minutes, the entire tournament, and caught about 6 snitches.
Good Lord. Wow.
He sleeps, he comes on, catches, goes back to his blanket.
Good Lord. That is, that's definitely a thing, isn't it? You just wake him up when he's needed. It's either that or it's a testament that we need better snitches.
And bigger blankets.
Bigger blankets.
So the game has resumed.
So Quaffle possession is currently with a Rumpeldunkian keeper. The bludge possession is currently with Werewolves of London. Keeping it nice and tight there. Werewolves have now lost possession of the bludgers. Anjet has pulled away from the hoops quite far, which may actually cut him off from being able to defend it properly. Rumpeldunk passing it off there. No, bludgers have now been taken away from Werewolves in its entirety. Rumpeldunk really making a good play for it. Luke Twist getting in the way as I think Aaron Veal goes for a block. Ooh! Now that was a goal.
Well, how did Jurgen end up on the floor then?
Well,
Who did he trip over his own feet?
I think Gemma Thripp. I think is number 12 Gemma Thripp. It is Gemma Thripp. I got one right without looking.
Proud of you, Sam. You're growing as a commentator and a person.
But it did look like Gemma Thripp got a good right hook into the face before he fell over there.
No comment. That's my job.
But we're commentators. We need to do this.
No.
Anjet now running back, which is alleviated bludger pressure up north.
Amazing beat, like a sniper there from Armand.
Ooh, booms down.
Okay, so prepare for 5 minutes of ref discussion.
Ooh.
Oh, I stand corrected.
Very
I was
quick
wrong.
there,
I was wrong. Quickest draw of that yellow card.
It's got the quickest hands in the West, that one. Not entirely sure. Sorry, it was...
Number
we had
30.
a live band yesterday.
Oh, we wish we had a live band now.
Wild West
It is on Timothy of NTNUI. Timothy.
Do we know what the call is for? I'm thinking most likely some form of back contact. That's been happening a lot today.
I did see 2 players in the box, one from each team, for sass to the ref, disrespecting the ref. I think one of them was Armand. Oh. Actually, yeah, one of them was Armand, and it was Paul from Royal Phoenix, both in the box for being very naughty boys.
I'm quite glad that we can't get carded.
Yellow card! Illegal contact! Contact from behind! NTNUI, number 33.
So number 33 is yellow carded for illegal contact coming from behind. So a back tackle. So I was right.
A back tackle, very good.
A back tackle. I like guessing. Number 14 beaten out there, stopping him from going for the goals. But it looks like Luke Twist has made a shot and it's gone straight in.
And we can call that a yeet. That was a good old yeet.
It's gone. Well, he's almost scored into the football hoops over there.
More points? Style points, that is.
Style points.
Style points. So 33 subs for 43.
To 30 all.
Ludwig Kuhn has replaced Timothy from NTNUI.
I've always loved the name Ludwig.
I think it's underused.
It is.
Ludwig.
It's like Todorov. That needs to be used far more.
Can I interest you in a fun Harry Potter fact?
Go on.
So, Ludo Bagman, you know, from the Ministry of Magic, prominent in Book 4.
Right, okay.
Ludo means to play, and he is head of magical games and sports.
Oh.
So, I'm guessing that Ludwig also is a derivation of that.
Playful German man.
Or Norwegian, I'm guessing. Maybe he's German.
Playful Norwegian.
That is also...
It looks like Anjet is trying to box in number 6, the beater for Rumpeldunk there, and dodging a beat there. This has given Luke Twist the perfect opportunity just to get in there and get... I think that's his hat trick. I think that's 3 goals for Luke Twist on this game, bringing the score to 40-30 in favour of London Werewolves.
Now, I don't want to be biased. I'm going to be equally biased to both teams.
Yeah, I hate them both too.
I hate Armand Sursus, one of my favourite players. Luke Twist, one of my favourite players.
I must admit, Luke used to be one of my favourite players until he got rid of the blue hair.
Oh, wow, that's a real throwback. Yeah, Luke had blue hair 2014.
Something like that, which, you know, good 4 or 5 years ago, that was peak Luke Twist time when, you know, you could see him a mile off. There's just a fluorescent blue coming at you. So Anjet has recovered bludger control, and he's holding in the middle of the pitch. The beaters have swapped. Number 17 for Werewolves coming on.
Karina. She is Austrian. There's another fun fact. She's a Team Austrian vet.
Anjet deciding to leave the defence to go and beat up on the pitch for some reason. He's managed to force a long pass. It looks like that's going to be... oh, that was almost a trip, but he managed to avoid the foot there. That's a pass over there to number 12, who is Gemma Thrip, I believe, trying to force it through. She's going for it. Oh, she's trying. God loves a trier. Luke Twist resetting there to number 18, Ed Brett. Brett is a fun name.
Brett.
I
have a feeling he's the captain.
I thought it was Simon Bidwell.
Maybe it was Simon Bidwell. But I thought it was...
Oh, that's a wonderful, wonderful tactic there. Beaters aren't allowed to interact with the quaffle unless it's from a thrown bludger. So by throwing the bludger at the quaffle there, he's able to knock it back to his keeper's hands, allowing them to get a nice fast breakaway. It looks like one of the bludgers has gone missing. Rumpeldunk have bludger control now. I think that's Sam Senior as an unarmed beater in the middle of the pitch.
Sam Senior, of course, a recent addition to the Werewolves, having previously played with Bristol.
Oh, beautiful catch there.
Showing he has earned his place now on Werewolves first, having done regionals with Werewolves too.
I have a fun fact about
I'm
Sam.
proud of him. Oh, you're doing fun facts now, are you?
He's got the nicest beard in the tournament.
Well, that is a lie. Have you seen the Turks?
I've not.
Well, then that's your...
I might have spoken too soon.
You've definitely spoken too soon.
Personally, I like, you know, it's not too long, not too short, and it matches.
It
matches. It gives him a good contour to the face.
Yeah, it clashes nicely with Kit. If that's what you're going for with his ginger hair and his burgundy kit.
Clash is always a plus. The beaters for London have come right up to the thing. Ben Honey there taking a shot to the back from a bludger.
Back to Ed Brett. Ed Brett with the quaffle.
He's got nice shoes.
So what is interesting versus these two teams is NTNUI, many of their players are going to be at the start of their career. They've joined university in Trondheim, Norway, and they've thought there is nothing to do in this tiny town on the coast of Norway. What am I going to do? Oh yeah, I'll try Rumpeldunk. It sounds fun. Jeg liker Rumpeldunk. And then versus there is an injury in the middle of the pitch. Aaron's clutching his head/neck.
He's gone down. So that's a straight yellow card there. I believe...
Well, we wait for a decision compared
your story?
Yeah, I'll carry on my story.
Yeah.
With Werewolves of London, who have probably each been playing for about 5 years at this point.
I'd say some of the, I mean, Ben Honey, who... is that Luke? Oh, Luke Twist is currently naked, not Ben Honey. Ben Honey, he started about a month prior to me. So that means he's now been going about 7-8 years now.
When did you start, Sam? Can you remember?
I started 2012.
What month?
Like
September, October?
September. When I started, something like that.
August 2012. So there you go. That's me.
That's you, is it?
That's me.
You got a couple of months on me.
4 weeks. 4 weeks.
4 weeks. But you know, it's after this amount of time, I think the weeks kind of
everything matters.
They get shorter. But this way, we both ache now as old people. Right, so it looks like it was a straight yellow card. I believe it was back contact again. Aaron Veal has been subbed off for Alex Greenhow coming on pitch. Bludgers, there's currently a big debate about who gets the bludgers. I believe it's been given to Wolves, so Werewolves have bludger control now.
The score, you can see the score. If you're looking at the live stream, you can see it. It is 30 for NTNUI and 40 for Werewolves. And we have had laps, 12 minutes of game time. So not very high scoring. We talked about that If your offense is good, your defense is good.
I think both teams are going to be relying very heavily on their seekers when it comes to. I mean, obviously, at the moment, if it stays like this, they're both in snitch range. They can both win the game, so they're going to want their seekers going in. But their chasers seem to be holding the defense more than their beaters are in this game.
The chasers are very, very strong on both these teams. Yeah.
So number 44 for Rumpeldunk has a yellow card for ignoring ref calls. I thought it was going to be for contact. I was wrong. I might have slandered him.
Ignoring a ref call, that's not always that
It's not
horrendous.
the worst
It's not the worst
thing
thing, but...
Well, it depends if you're a ref or not. They hate it if you ignore them. There's a throw from Alex Greenhow there, going very wide. So that's going to be a brooms down for the ball to be returned. Depending on if the ref is feeling a bit salty today, he might be, he might actually call that a card for throwing off pitch intentionally, because God knows it wasn't near the hooves.
That's a very good point.
No, it looks like he's just. He's checking equipment. So
he has now decided to check Karina's knee brace that she's had from. She tore an ACL. I've seen her play so many tournaments with that. That can't be a problem. So I really, if she gets sent off now for that, I will not be very happy about that.
One thing that I've always found interesting about knee braces and things like that is, I mean, in terms of the knock test, if I knock my knee, it makes a knocking sound anyway. So surely having something covering that isn't the worst thing. It looks like she's being forced to remove it. So I don't know if they're going to be carding her off the pitch, but it does look like they're going to...
But she has been playing with that for so many tournaments. This makes 0 sense.
It's weird.
I am angry on behalf of Werewolves now, because that's not ideal, really. And you could have decided before the game, but...
Especially for something like that, where it is a medical issue, where she's already got an injury that she doesn't want reoccurring. She's been yellow... So that is a call of illegal equipment for a leg brace. The ref is warning the crowd for booing him at the moment. There was quite a lot of people booing on that one. The ref didn't seem to be the most popular of guys at the moment. So that's number 17, Karina. A legal equipment call. The ref checking in the middle of the game rather at the beginning of the game, as they're supposed to be. I mean... At least it wasn't a Fitbit. Okay, and players back up. Rumpeldunk have quaffle possession.
The important thing now for Werewolves is to not get tilted about this.
I think the important thing is for everyone to have fun.
Thank you, Sam. That's a really good thing. That's
fun.
A really good thing to remember. But I think Karina will be upset about that, which I think is fair now to have a yellow.
I think so. Ooh!
That beat was so hard that Armand fell down.
He knocked him off balance
But why is he still standing up with a bludger?
I'm not entirely sure.
What did he fall over if it wasn't?
I think he's saying that the bludger deflected off the ball.
Oh, he kind of backpedaled as well. Okay, okay, we'll forgive him that.
We'll forgive him, but I mean the sound, glorious sound.
I didn't enjoy this. We talked about sounds last time in the last match.
It's just because they're very nice.
That's the best one. A bludger hitting a bludger.
Oh, it's one of those. It's oddly satisfying as well because you've defended yourself. And you get the good noise. Alice Greenhall going in for a jump there. Ooh!
Oh!
Ben Honey. No, he's not going to be called for back contact on that one. I think he popped the ball out with his hand rather than actually tackling. Must admit, the ref doesn't seem to be the most constant. He's chasing Alex Greenhall now, the ref. Jan ripping through the bludger defense there of Team Rumpeldunk. Ben Honey going for a goal, scoring
That
in.
was also a great sound.
Oh.
A strong pass, caught with safe 2 hands, the thunk.
Well, Ben Honey does have very safe, strong hands.
Yeah.
He's like a very happy dog, Honey is. Like, I've never seen him upset. Like, he's always smiling, and he's always just going to try his best. And
That is
annoyingly,
true.
his best is quite good.
Yeah, when I'm watching him play, I'm like, yeah, try your best. Playing against him, I'm like, oh, if you could not,
If you could just
that would be
not
great.
do your best for a bit. Alex Greenhow picking up the quaffle there, making a big long pass, but he just overshot it, but did get to the hands there of... I'm not entirely sure who that is.
That's Ed Brett again.
That's Ed Brett again. It looks
There
like
are a lot of tall, dark-haired men on the Werewolves. You got Ollie Cray, you got Ed Brett, you got Simon Bidwell. I can see the confusion. The confusion.
That's the thing. Young white men all look the same to me. It's,
Again, no comment. The score is currently 40 for NTNUI, 50 for Werewolves of London. This game could go anyway. It will all come down to bludgers.
the Seeker game
Ed Brett making a massive run, intercept the ball. No one there to stop him, slamming it down.
They could have done on that.
Well, they could have not let him get the ball in the first place.
Okay, retrospectively, maybe.
This is get the ball through the hoop again. You know, just get it in the hoop.
It looks like they're having a timeout now called by Rumpeldunk. However, I'm surprised that the ref wasn't a bit strict on that last score. When it was Ed Brett who scored the last one, wasn't it?
It was indeed.
When he scored it there, he threw it with such force through the hoop without being contested that it did roll off the pitch. I do believe that is supposedly excessive force if you're not under pressure.
I wouldn't say excessive force because it's not against someone, but I think it does come under time wasting.
So, yeah, time
wasting.
wasting.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Yeah, I agree.
But I don't think the ref. He's just going to let it go. That's the thing. At this point, I think. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be wanting to make a lot of calls after the Karina one and the reaction from the crowd. Depends if he likes his popularity or not.
He doesn't
mind.
Nicolas Muller, he's quite a serious chap. I met him when his last name was Muller. If you're from the UK, Muller is a yogurt company. And I said to him, do you lick the lid of life? And he was like, no.
No, I spoon it off.
Which I thought was hilarious, but I think I'm quite hilarious. Send that into the comments. If you're commenting on the live stream, are any of Bex's jokes funny, or should they just give up on that?
Do you know who the snitch is today?
The person dressed in yellow.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So Vivinette, that might just be a company name, though. I don't know. That's actually...
they're wearing a Quidditch Deutschbund, German Quidditch top, but I don't know.
Right, well, the snitch is warming up, so we have only about 2.5 minutes until the snitch comes on pitch. And the scores currently still all to play for, as they're both in range, with 60-40 in favour of the Werewolves of London. Quaffle possession is currently with our Rumpeldunk. Passing it off to number 33, Timothy Bernard. I'm going to go with that. Jan pressing them up, going very high on the beta play there. Pass off there to Rumpeldunk, jumping over a bludger, passing it straight through the hoop. Oh, beautiful work. Oh, it's a lovely one.
That was a really nice goal.
I do like jumps. There's just something majestic about it.
Oh, and Armand caught Jan's beat. That was fantastic play on the other side of the field. Armand, one of the best beater in Norway. Jan, one of the best beaters in the UK. It is fun to see them match off against each other. Simon Bidwell passed the ball to Ed Brett. Ed Brett again yeeting it to the hoop.
This looks like he might call this. Oh no, he's just reset. The ref is just resetting the ball, I believe. So there's going to be no call made. It's going to be classed as an attempt on the hoops. But I mean, it
not an attempt on the life of the hoops, like.
Yeah. The force rolling on the pitch there. I'm surprised it hasn't marked the grass, torn up the turf.
I saw smoke.
It's the dust settling as it goes.
So, Jürgen Stenlock is going to go in for Seek, a Team Norway Seeker. He's pulled a lot of good snitches in his time, but I think I'm going to be bold.
The capes come off.
I'm going to go for Trev.
Trev. I reckon Trev.
Yeah, I'm for Trev. Jordan, Amaya, Jeffrey.
No, they've called it no good, that
Trevor.
goal.
And
all the bludgers are kind of loose now. 34 there for Rumpeldunk scoring it, bringing the score to 60-all.
But what is interesting with this group is we could end up with a three-way tie, the same numbers of wins and losses. Ooh. NTNUI lost to Ruhr, Werewolves, but Ruhr, like, who goes through depends on this game. Who goes into the upper bracket, who has to go to the lower bracket, gets decided by this game. Which I love it. The parity, being Division 1, we've lost any of the slightly weaker NGBs, slightly weaker teams. Every team has got a lot of talent and is a contender, you know?
It's gonna be tough. I mean, neither of these teams you would really see as being lower bracket teams.
No, I
so
would not.
A game like this, sending one of them through. So Simon Bidwell has just been blue carded for calling an illegal timeout because it is 12 seconds past the snitch being on pitch, which means that you are no longer allowed to call a timeout unless those are brooms down. I think Werewolves might capitalize on this brooms down to call a timeout. So just to explain what happened there with a bit of clarity.
Please do. Thanks.
Simon Bidwell called a timeout when he wasn't allowed to, which meant that the ref stopped the game to card him. While the ref has stopped the game, you are able to call a timeout. So while being carded for calling a timeout, they called a timeout.
I hate Quidditch.
It is confusing as hell.
Every season, I think, yeah, I'm going to become a referee. And every season, I find something else to do. I think, oh no, I'll snitch some more. I'll first aid. I'll commentate. I'll help organize. And I'm just going to stay away. I don't like the black and white stripes. That's not for me.
No, it's not very flattering, I find.
It's like the Doppler effect.
So again, the ref has just stated that it's a blue card for a legal timeout, resulting in a timeout anyway. What do you reckon the teams are going to be talking about now in terms of their game strategy, their plan going forward?
I think, yeah, Werewolves London, they're going to bubble. It's all about... It's 60-60. It's all about the snitch. The quaffle doesn't matter because you've got 30 points to play with. You can concede 30 and still win.
Personally, I wouldn't be surprised if the Werewolves did try to do a split guard, having Yam bubbling the Seeker and going up on the attack with the chasers, and having one of their beaters, once they get control back, actually helping on the quaffle game on defense.
I like that.
Rumpeldunk, I'm not entirely sure. I think they do look like they're going to go entirely onto the bubble on the snitch. I think Rumpeldunk will be pretty much pure.
Should we bet like a Belgian beer on it?
A Belgian beer on it. Okay, I will bet you a Belgian beer.
I think everyone's going to be on the snitch, and you think there might be some splitting.
I think Werewolves will split defense.
They've
just had a goal scored against them now, so that leaves the score at 70-60 in favour of Rumpeldunk. So I think Werewolves are more likely to actually keep on a bit of defense.
I don't want to include opportunistic beats. You know, oh, someone's walking by, I'll take that beat. That doesn't count in my bubble. But yeah, I'll shake on that. Should we shake loudly so they can hear you? Yeah.
I'll put some keys on my pen. No, I got no keys on me, so you can hear it. So here come Rumpeldunk again coming down. It looks like there's very little to contest them here. Tackle down. Luke Twist trying desperately to score. Oh! They've scored!
Did I lie though? Trevor caught the snitch.
And at the moment, we're just going to have a quick look at where the beaters are. Now, technically, just from the positions of the beaters, Rumpeldunk have a split defense. But I think that's...
I don't think there was enough. I don't think there was enough to decide.
Though I do think, from the look of it, you were probably right.
Oh, that's very big of you to... I don't think so. I think we just have to buy our own beers tonight.
Buy our own beers. Yeah. But I do think, in the grand scheme of it, looking how the Werewolves are at the moment, it does look like they were both going for the snitch. It does look like the Rumpeldunk were also moving in for it. I just think Trev... It's far too fast. He ruined our bet.
I have best seeker in Europe. Yeah, I would say. Statistically best seeker in Europe, yeah.
It was ridiculous. I mean, that
I
must have been...
blinked again and I missed it.
I didn't even realize that they were gone yet. Like, it happened so fast. That must have been around 10 seconds.
That's because Trevor's so fast, he creates his own space-time continuum. Faster than the speed of sound. Faster than the speed of light.
Okay, it looks like...
Oh!
They're calling it a yellow card on Trev.
Oh, this just got really interesting. This was a bit interesting. Now it's really interesting.
I want to know what this is for. Possibly charging, and that might just be a bit of a what is that word? A side effect of his speed, because he is so fast. If he's not able to stop himself, that can become a charge on the snitch.
But will they concede a hoop to get Trev back? Will they do what we were talking about earlier in the Saginaw game?
Personally, I probably would.
I think I would.
But however, they only have if they do that, they've then only got 1 point lead. 1 point leeway. Which they're going to concede a hoop. It looks like, unless is that Gemma Thripp and Luke Twist?
I can't. No, that's Asher. Was the other one by name.
Okay, so Snitch is back in. Seeker's back in even.
60-70.
That's 60-70 now.
Okay, so Trev wasn't out. However, the problem is if Trev gets carded again, then they'll be down to no seeker for 2 minutes.
Like that.
So let's hope he stays clean for that
So
one.
beaters are really in on it now.
Oh, look, we can see that. Are they bubbling? Are they bubbling? Is everybody bubbling? Everybody's bubbling. No, Armand's over there.
Armand's over there. So we have got a bit of a split defense. They are changing it up, it seems. Like, what I thought it was going to be was that Werewolves were going to split defense. It looks like Werewolves are bubbling, where Rumpeldunk are using a split defense.
Yeah.
And on the attack,
I thought I said
into a
UK was going to bubble. Did I say UK was going to bubble?
Uh,
I forgot what we betted on now anyway.
I said one team would split.
Oh, you said one.
You said bubble. They are,
okay.
however, Rumpeldunk are going into a bubble whenever they go on the attack, it seems. So
this is my favorite when all the beaters are tied up. It's like the huddle on the floor of everybody. Like
there's very little you can do when things like that happen. And there's another goal which brings Werewolves out of range. They're now only
NTNUI out of range. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Well, they're out of range to win. I will twist anything so I'm right-ish.
No, I'm with you.
Werewolves are now out of range for a win. They can catch for a overtime game. Just depends if they're able to get that extra goal in. It looks like they need a new snitch runner.
We need a new snitch runner. Do you want to volunteer, Sam?
I'll definitely be able to hold off some of these players.
I could take Trev. I could take them. I just don't want to make Trev look silly.
Yeah,
that's my issue.
You know, we're doing it for them. We won't go on because it'll be too good.
It'd be embarrassing. It'd be unfair to Quidditch.
It would be embarrassing.
I mean, it's okay. I'm wearing skinny jeans. You're wearing smart trousers and smart dress shoes, and I'm wearing practically Uggs. But
I must say your Uggs are amazing.
Well, actually, they're Sorel. I'd never heard the brand either. And they've got a polar bear on them.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, I know.
Very nice indeed.
Luckily, the weather right now is better than I thought it was going to be.
Go. Wonderful. So we're down on a stoppage for changing the snitch. I believe one of the attacks on him, he's just hurt his arm a little bit. So we're looking for a new snitch, I believe. There's a lot of clapping for some reason. Don't know why. I think I missed something. Turned around to talk to Richard for a second, and something happened.
I think it's because some Raptors appeared, so it was a bit of like UK camaraderie, but
The Raptors
could be anything.
And all of a sudden there's cheering and clapping.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
Very different from a home game for them. Big tasty fish there.
Big taste. I like the UK treat European Quidditch Cup as a tour, and they get tour shirts, silly names, and it's like looks a bit like a hen do.
It does, doesn't it? I'm expecting Jade to come with like dealy boppers on or something like that. Like
oh, serious dealy boppers.
Serious dealy boppers, that just say win on each like.
So we got very in-jokey. We're referring to Jay Holmes, the captain of Velociraptors, and previously UK
head coach, Team UK head coach, I believe. Or was he Dev Squad head coach? Was he Dev? I think he might have been Dev Squad head coach or Team UK head.
Assistant. I think he was a Team UK. I want to say assistant.
He's done stuff with Team UK in the coaching.
Sorry, the game has resumed. We brought in a fresh snitch, which is a shame because you get a feel for the snitch and then you swap it out and you're like, oh no, this is inconvenient now. It's like trying again with a new snitch.
Ooh, that was a shame there. Just a little bit of a thumb ball might have been the goal that got them back in the game. Number 14 going for a shot here. Looks like they're just going to force their way through. They've scored, which now means they've... Oh! That was very closely a catch, which would have won the game for Wolves with that goal going in. Again, stoppage as they bring the ball back to the playing area. Like the Wolves really yeeting it.
You got to yeet!
Yeet the ball over that way.
That's actually what's written on Aaron Veal's tour shirt.
Yeet.
I don't know what to say.
I don't know why. That's tickled me. That has
tickled me, sorry.
Okay, so...
let's find some words. Words that we need to speak. Fill the air. Okay, so 34 has a quaffle. And...
No goal.
Yes! She held up her hands. Are you not entertained? Yes, we were, because now it is 100-70.
Okay, it looks like Aaron Veal is going for the snitch. Really hammering tongs here again. Oh, it's Ollie Craig. Oh, it's Aaron Veal. I've named him Aaron Veal. That's another goal there for the Werewolves.
He tickled it. He tickled the tail.
He just... A little undercarriage tickle. A little bit, just grazing it. Tempting it. It's a bit cold.
Come to me.
You got to warm it up a bit.
Coaxing.
Get going. Coax it out. It's shy. Right, so that brings the score back into range for the Wolves. It's now 70 to 100.
They're trying for overtime.
We'll find out. I feel now with the beaters, they are starting to bubble more.
Trev's back on a seeker. He's going at it a bit slowly, a bit tentative because Armand's there. So Trevor's amazing seeker, but of course not if he's beat. You can only be as good as you are in the game.
That was a very close call there from Rumpeldunk seeker going in, getting, again, he tempted it out, but just missing it.
See, I think that shot there was a deliberate miss by Armand because it doesn't count as a throw-off pitch if you're aiming for a player. But as Armand's not missed a beat all tournament, I think that was a deliberate miss.
I'm not entirely sure. I think he was aiming for her. I think at this point in the game, it's getting late in the game. It's a tough game. They are going to get a bit tired, a bit sloppy. See, like that beat there?
No, that was a beat.
Oh, he did meet the beat.
Yeah, he did beat.
He just skimmed it.
I like seeing Luke twist back as keeper for the Werewolves. It makes me think of old times. Aaron Veal counters. Aaron Veal has scored.
Was guarding the snitch, waiting for that goal to go in before going back into the snitch play to try and catch it. He's going for the win here, but we've got a bubble from the Rumpeldunk beaters. I forgot the name of the position there. Been doing this for 7 years.
Beater?
A batter?
A batter?
What is batter? Right, so here is another.
Because what is the past tense? Because of course you say you keeped. You could say I keeped because you wouldn't kept. You wouldn't kept. I kept at the weekend. It doesn't sound the same. You keeped. I don't know. So but yeah, yeet. What is the past?
Yeeted.
I yeeted.
I yeeted.
But I greeted.
Yeeted and greeted.
I greet. Yeah. I
yeeted the greeter.
I yeet. Yeah.
I yeet. Yeah.
So
it's like
I yetted. I yetted the ball. Yeet.
I'm not entirely sure.
I just thought there was a. I was talking to Abby Whiteley. This is the problem. Abby Whiteley of Oxford Mammers have got a degree in linguistics. One from Oxford, one from Cambridge.
A good couple of words when we were on tour together once. What
in your performing duo of pop music?
No, just like reading dictionaries like on the stage. No, when we were going to 2014, going to Canada.
We went to Canada. We went to Canada. Yeah, we went to Canada.
When we were on Team UK, name drop. But
were you on Team UK?
Were you on Team UK?
I was on Team UK. I was on Team UK. Yeah. Good times.
My head is going big. But yeah, I'm trying to remember what basically the word she taught me. I remember it meant basically bothering her.
Was it? This has yeeted me too much.
You have yeeted the conversation into oblivion here. Right. So there was a stoppage of play there. It looks like there's been no fouls given. As it stands, Rumpeldunk have the quaffle and currently have bludger control. Jan is being gifted a bludger by the ref there. That's favoritism, I think.
Which was not yeeted at all. It was gently placed.
It was like placing on a bed of roses that is Jan's hands.
Oh, if I were a bludger to be between those hands.
Oh my, I tell you. It'd be wonderful. So that now gives Werewolves bludger control right round the snitch, right when they need it, to be honest. Don't know what it is. And also they now have quaffle possession. Everything is gone to Werewolves here. They're having a whale of a time.
Everything's going up, Werewolves.
Everything's coming up, Luke. Right.
My mom thinks I'm cool.
I've got waiters. So, and here it is with, it's an attempted snitch catch, but not quite there. It looks like all the beaters have removed from the snitch, and Jet has come on there just in the nick of time to stop that beater play coming in. The Werewolves are now pretty much entirely bubbling.
Oh, no, but he lost his broom. Ooh. Sorry, that was a bit shrill.
You have to keep that between your legs.
That was too shrill. Sorry.
I don't think, can you be too shrill when Trevor loses his broom? I don't think it's possible.
I think I needed to be slightly more chill. I'm just a bit excited. And I think it's okay because I like these teams equally. I'm excited both ways.
We've just had a yellow card for illegal contact. And that is a red card for Rumpeldunk player, I believe number 33, Timothy Bernard?
Bernard.
Timothy Bernard.
So
that's red carded, which I believe is a match ban.
No, it won't be a match ban because it's not a straight red, but it does mean they're going to be down a player for 2 minutes, regardless of whether they get scored upon, and someone else has to field the time. He's expelled from the player area now. Like, he doesn't serve in the box. He has to, like, literally leave.
And now he has to come closer to the viewing area so we can throw things at him. We've got our tomatoes ready and some cabbages.
100 points if you hit him on the head from here.
20 if it goes for his stomach. And the beater for Rumpeldunk is just lost possession around the snitch there, which is a terrible time to do because there goes the catch!
Okay, it's not good till it's good. The score is 100. 100 for Werewolves, 110 for NTNUI.
So if this is good, that will be a win for Werewolves from coming from behind, which will give them 20 points up on them. I believe, is that...
That's Ollie Craig.
That's Ollie Craig.
That's Ollie Craig.
That is Ollie Craig,
That's
not
Ollie
Aaron
Craig.
Veal. The Werewolves are getting excited. I think they think it's good, so...
Aaron Veal is talking to Ollie Craig, so I can see the confusion.
This is going to confuse me. So that means that's a win for the Werewolves.
NTNUI
are
going into the lower bracket.
We might now be looking at potential winners of the lower bracket in terms of NTNUI. So there's a consolation for them.
I've got another fun fact.
Oh, here we
they
go.
won the lower bracket in 2016 in Gallipoli.
That is good. Understandably, they do look a little bit defeated, just being knocked down into lower bracket now. But the Werewolves, they've all got good, big smiles on their faces here.
Shocking. I wonder why. Especially Ben Honey.
Ben Honey always has a good smile on his face.
I have really enjoyed this game. This has been a really, really good game.
It's been a nice game. It's also, the weather has become a lot calmer, a lot nicer, better than having to fight with the gazebos over there. Well, we are now going to wrap it up here and send you back to the studio. I've been Sam Davis.
I've still been Bex McLaughlin, and you have not been. See you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Welcome back to the analysis table. Now we just had the game NTNUI against the Werewolves, which was a really close game.
Yeah, that was a good game to have on the live stream. I think our viewers can attest to that. And man, we have a lot to talk about, but we only have a short amount of time, so let's get to it. Should we get straight to the Seeker floor, or should we talk about that first, what happened before?
I mean, we can talk about the game before, which was pretty even on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, it started pretty slow, actually. I mean, it was a low-scoring game before the Seeker floor, and what I liked with the Werewolves, they took the time, and they tried not to get into these easy counters that NTNUI is famous for. They use Armand a lot to create these open counters with like a deep pick-up as soon as the chasers cross the line and try to get the quick counter goal. It worked one or two times, but not as often, because Werewolf took their time in the offense.
Yeah. I think that was really special about both teams. They had like an amazing defense, both of the teams. We had a pretty low score for most of the time until Seeker floor. I think it was just like 50 or 60 points in total, which is not in total, but for each team, which is not much at all. Especially
with offensive force of like these two teams. But I have to like tip my hat towards Armand Storste. He played an incredible game. I think he can't be ashamed of himself he carried a lot of this defense on this team. He was, as soon as he was off, I think he was off for maybe like 1 minute. They got 2 goals back. Amund played an impeccable game, and he should really be proud of himself for his power he put in there.
Yeah, even on the Seeker floor when he was alone, because there was a yellow card for his beater partner, he actually managed to still beat the Seeker, set priorities right. It was really impressive.
Yeah, and then like even there when what the Werewolves did really good is they were effective in defense even with only 1 bludger. I have to attest to that. I mean, it's kind of hard to defend against 2 bludgers, but they did a good job and kept the score low until the Seeker floor. And that's when the Werewolves of London really took it up a notch. I think they excelled really in their seeking game with like impeccable seekers. I think it was Ollie who caught the snitch, and that was one of the most beautiful catches I've ever seen. I mean, kudos, and even the first catch was
it was a
ended
charge,
up
I
like
think.
in an injury with Vincent Fröhlich, the first seeker. 9 seconds, and that's pretty incredible to get that close, man.
But even also the chaser game at Seeker floor was really impressive. Like the concentration was still really high. Both teams knew they needed to score. They wanted to get out of range, which, I mean, NTNUI, I think they went ahead for like 30 points at one point, but the Werewolves came back.
Yeah, they were still in it, and they kept their focus high and their spirits high. And I mean, this is like when the sport really shines. When it's swim range, it's 2 really great teams of great seekers, great beaters, great chasers. And as soon as I'm home and this thing is on YouTube, I'm going to rewatch the whole thing. But I think for now we should like keep it short, because we now have an interview coming up with The Happening. It's Kaan Bullard and Jack Leonard of the Quidditch Premier League. These guys are going to talk to Pauline Reis. And guys, stay tuned. We'll be back in a few seconds. Take time.
Well, welcome back. I'm here with Jack Leonard and Kaan Bullard, and they're going to talk about businesses in Quidditch. Can you both just introduce your companies in less than 30 seconds?
Okay, so I run the Quidditch Premier League. We are a UK and now European summer league for the very best in Quidditch. We run events throughout the summer. We bring in partners, we bring in corporate events, and the whole idea is to streamline the sport and try and make it accessible and exciting for new audiences. We've been going for 3 years now, coming up to our 3rd season, so very exciting, and we're looking forward to growing and continuing to change the game.
Yeah, so do I.
I'm Kaan, I'm one of the co-founders of Happening. We're basically providing textile merchandise for sports teams across Europe and Turkey, and of course we're planning to grow our business more and more, but we're currently happy with the growth. We've been operating for slightly more than a year, and the growth is satisfying up to now.
So what is your guys' background? Do you have a professional or educational background that fits your businesses, or is it something totally different, Kaan?
Not at all. Well, I'm a graduate of chemical engineering. I did my master's in chemical engineering as well, but now I'm doing a PhD in energy economics. So it has nothing to do with textile. Maybe
economics?
Yeah, maybe sustainability. If you try it really hard, yeah, but professionally, yeah, no, not at all.
And you, Jack?
Well, I think I'm even further apart. I studied archaeology at university, and then I did a master's in archaeology and heritage. So that's very different to what I ended up doing. It was completely off the beaten track for me. I think most people who knew me were fairly surprised when I ended up going into business.
I mean, learn from the past to improve the future, but this might be a bit too far in the past. So why did you start your companies, and how did you do it?
Yeah, okay, so I'm playing for Meta Unicorns, a Turkish Quidditch team. We're from Ankara. We've been in the European arena for this is the 5th year that we're coming to EQC. So it's basically the financials, because our team, well, we don't have a lot of money, and you know how Turkish lira against euro currency is. So we needed extra earnings. So then the first tournament we came, people started to ask us about our jerseys, because they liked the quality, they liked the design, and then they kindly asked us whether we could produce jerseys for them too. And then we started to produce jerseys for teams as Metro Unicorns, which helped us a lot for going to tournaments abroad. And then this business got bigger and bigger, and there were other competitors, and we needed to become a legit company. But of course, at that time, most of our my teammates are university students, so they were not able to, give time for this company. So I just merged with 2 other people from ET Honeybees, where they were playing with ET Honeybees back then, and then we started happening. Now it's all both helping our teams and ourselves.
And Jack?
Yeah, I mean, I saw MLQ doing really well, Major League Quidditch in the US, and I thought, gosh, that would be great to have in the UK. And for a while, it seemed like that wasn't going to be possible because of traveling and whether the UK community was ready for that. But then it seemed in 2016 that it was time to push on that, and if it wasn't going to happen then, I didn't think it was ever going to happen. So the idea kind of just jumped into my head one day of having this league, and we've just gone from there, really.
Starting your own business seems pretty scary to me. So what is it like, and what is actually a lot harder than people would think would be?
Pretty scary is a good summary.
Definitely so scary.
It's full of surprises. I think in a lot of jobs, you know what you're meant to do, you've got your responsibilities, and you've got a framework around you to tell you when you're screwing up or doing well or give you that feedback. In business, there isn't. You're most of the time, you're on your own. You've got to kind of test things out.
Find your own motivation. That's one of the hardest things. Also, you don't have a solid earning. Like when you're working for someone else's job, you're an employee, then you're getting paid at the end of the month, despite everything. But here, you don't know what you will earn. And for me, it looks like you have these titles: entrepreneur, co-founder, CEO, but in reality, I just check 100 jerseys, and if they are correctly printed and as well. So these are the hard things, and these are the people think this is a cool thing, but actually behind those doors, a lot of hard stuff.
A lot of sleepless nights.
Wow.
So is this your full-time job?
Well, I'm not working anywhere else. I'm just doing my PhD and happening. So we can say it's my full-time job, yeah.
And for you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it as a full-time job for just under a year now. I do other part-time gigs and that kind of thing, but essentially, yes.
So we have a couple of seconds left, and then we go back to the game. If there's one lesson that you can give to anyone who is going to start their own business now?
I would say go and give it a go, but be aware that it is very, very hard work. Make sure you really go for it.
And you?
Make it something that comes out of your sufferings, because that's when when you experience other people's sufferings too. So that's how you can satisfy other people.
Well, thank you so much. It's time for the next game. I hope that you all enjoyed the event, both you and the spectators at home, and we'll see you after the next slot.